couldn't afford clothes,
Right.
but I could afford a pack of white T-shirts and some fabric paint. Probably about 4 months later, I wound up in the hospital to get open heart surgery. To live as Christ and to die as gain. Bulletproof vest, gun, going in some dangerous situations. Like nothing can scare me at this point. Not just making like Christianity or belief as like, okay, this is a part of my life. No, this is my life.
It is your life.
And everything that I do is a manifestation of that. So Blyndi, my brand, is a manifestation of that.
My name is Tara Poinsett. I'm a retail strategist and style enthusiast, and I'm here with
Doc Tulle, the creative director for Blyndi.
Thanks, guys.
So I was born in Michigan, 2 years old, like my dad. He was locked up. I didn't see him for 10 years, my birth father. I wound up moving around a lot. Me and my 3 little brothers, my mom and my stepdad, we moved down here when I was like 12, 13.
To Florida.
To Florida, yes,
Okay.
to Tampa. And they were like drug dealers and users.
Okay.
And like we were homeless for a long time. I would say from probably the time we moved down here to the time I went into foster care, we were probably homeless like 85% of that time. My number one inspiration would be Pharrell, because like I couldn't afford clothes,
Right.
but I could afford a pack of white T-shirts and some fabric paint. And like that was like, back then was like the color. Now I'm like dark and broody. But like back then I was like, colors, bought the ice creams and everything. So yeah, foster care, 18, got out, living on my own. That's the same year I accepted Christ into my life. And so, Bible college, all of that. Still trying to find myself, because foster care stunts you, you know what I mean? Like it makes you feel like you still gotta like, you're around adults, around people your own age, but you still don't feel like you've like hit that, you know what I mean? And so like a lot of growing. I moved to New Orleans to help with a church plant. Wind up moving to Alabama, became a police officer. Then I got like, so like 2013 is when I first started the brand Blyndi.
Okay.
And so like, it was just T-shirts. I was in college. That was when I was in New Orleans. And so like I moved to Alabama, wanted to like launch the brand again. Didn't have the funds, but I could buy a sewing machine and some fabric and learn how to sew.
At what point did you know what style was?
I think Pharrell,
Okay.
like that was, I'm telling you, like when I first seen his very first video he put out. But like it was between that and their Nirvana.
Okay.
Smells Like Teen Spirit. And so like that time was just like grunge, and then the skateboard thing. I wanted to be like,
Very angsty.
Yeah.
Very alternative.
yeah. And then because I didn't get along with my family like that, so I was really to myself. So it just felt like that's what I was supposed to do. And I remember being in middle school, and there was this guy, and he was a gothic kid, but he was a cool gothic kid. Like he was
Yeah.
a popular gothic kid.
Got it.
And so he had really spiky hair, always wore black and everything. And I was like, I want to be just like that guy, And so, that's kind of where like my style kind of started. And then like my parents, my stepdad, he was like, he used to buy us like FUBU and that kind of like,
Yeah.
early streetwear stuff, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's kind of, so I would say now I'm a blend of those two things. Like I remember in high school, I had this throwback Shaquille O'Neal jersey.
Oh my
That was like
goodness.
a 2X. And I'm already small now.
Yeah.
I'm like not this huge guy now. So imagine I'm like 15, 14, and then baggy pants. It was a mess. I was a mess. But, hey, we grow. We got to start somewhere.
So at what point did your style kind of start to evolve? Like where did you stop wanting to emulate other people and then looked within for your style?
I think it was probably when I like turned 18, because then I started getting my own money and being able to like purchase how I wanted to purchase,
Yeah.
when I wanted to purchase. And so like that's when I first got into like art for Dodger, kind of like transitioning into like who I was like meant to be when it comes to fashion. You know what I mean? And then that's like a couple years later, I was like one of the first people wearing in my church wearing like skinny jeans, the turban stuff, you know what I mean? Like doing a lot of that and just, you know, exploding out. Bape. I love Bape.
Yeah.
You know, I always wore Bape like after that, like when I like probably 20 to like 23. There was a lot of Bape in there. Funny story. So I was originally supposed to go into the Navy, and I got diagnosed with lupus probably 2013, 2014, and so right before I was supposed to go to basic, I started getting sick, and you can't take medicine at basic. So I mean, really, I think it was a God thing, and you know, that's not where he wanted me.
Yeah.
So I chilled out, like I said, wind up moving to Alabama, and then I still wanted that protection. Like I'm a protective person, you know, around my family, around somebody I date, around whatever, you know, I'm a protective person. And so like, and then I understand like the need for a security force. Yes, I'm a young black man. Yes, I've been abused by the police, you know, all kinds of things. Like when I went into foster care, I was 16 and the police raided a house and I had a rifle put in my face. It's a scary thing. And then I can tell you numerous stories after that, but it's a scary thing, but it's also like, you gotta use logic. Like I gotta be out there to protect the people that need to be protected, because sometimes people like me, we're not protected. Right. You know what I mean? So yeah, I had that, and actually Black Lives Matter really was like kind of like the catalyst to make me want to like go, because I can't criticize something I don't know about. You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna criticize it,
change, be a part of the change.
Be the change. So like that's when I went to the academy. The lupus just disappeared at that point. Really? I was like top peak physical shape. 2 years in, probably 17, 18. I had to do chemo for my kidneys, and that kind of sat me down for a little bit. And then a couple months after that, I wound up in the hospital, like on my deathbed in a coma. So then, like I'll say, like I wasn't close to God. So, but I knew, like, because of what he had brought me through, I knew he was like in the midst of things. You know what I mean? I wasn't like acknowledging him like that, but I knew it was just like he was in the midst of things. And it was depressing for a bit, because it was like I felt weak, because I'm a cop, like all this stuff, and then I'm sick where I can't walk. I had to learn how to walk again. I was like, yeah, I was incontinent for a bit, if that's the right word. I was like, I died a couple times, because when you're in a coma, it's not what people think. It's not like you're sleeping. It's like reality and dream, like they mix like that. So like you're seeing like reality.
Fathom the concept of that.
You're seeing reality. Like I remember, man, my ex telling me when I was in there, this guy came in there and was singing to me like old gospel songs, and my face twisted up like, why are you in here? And then the Mobile Police Department was like, I'll never be able to like give them enough thanks. Like I ran out of sick time, and they donated sick time to me.
Oh, wow.
So they donated sick time to me. I had people like donate, like, you know, Mobile's a big small town. Mm-hmm. So everybody knows everybody, you know what I mean? And then I was big in the fashion, you know, networks and everything like that there, because I did Mobile Fashion Week, Coastal Fashion Week, and you know, the support came in, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, like, so all through being a police officer, like I would take leave and like go do fashion shows, and like, you know, do all this stuff, and like some people on the department would make fun of me. Mm-hmm. Some people would have, but I was always like a person that just didn't care. Like I was still myself, because I'm like, you know, I'm me. Like I'm unapologetically me, no matter how you catch me. So okay, so yeah, after that, and then I had to stop being a police officer, and during that time I was married, and like after like not being a police officer and like going through that kind of like, you know, disability whole thing was kind of rough on my ex, and like she didn't sign up for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so we parted ways amicably, and I moved back down here. So I moved back down to Florida, and my church, they got me straight. They got me set up, bought me a room for a couple night for a week, so I can like figure out my next moves, and everything went smoothly. And probably about 4 months later, I wound up in the hospital to get open heart surgery. So that was cool.
Not cool.
That was cool. That was fun. I mean, it wasn't like fun, but it was like oh, okay. Like I was used to it by then.
Yeah.
I was used to the what's it called, ventilator. I was used to like going on. It was like okay, and in my mindset, because I had been getting closer to God, because like I was by myself, like not by myself, but I was by myself. I was so comfortable. I was just like, if God like wants me to live, he wants me to live. If he doesn't want me to live here on this plane of existence, to live is Christ and to die is gain. So that's my mindset. It was just like, I was out in the streets, like as being a police officer, like bulletproof vest, gun, going in some dangerous situations. Like nothing can scare me at this point. You know what I mean? And so, and then the way I grew up, like it's just, and then like this one, I tell you, like the one album that I constantly listened to was this Christian artist, Stephen the Levite, and like just listening to that just gave me so much like strength at the time. And so yeah, that's kind of like, and then just since then it's just been like a upward just journey to just getting back to like like praying in that Holy Spirit, getting in my word, like making like not just making like Christianity or belief as like, okay, this is a part of my life. No, this is my life.
It is your life.
And everything that I do is a manifestation of that. So Blyndi, my brand, is a manifestation of that. The first time I didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every day was new. Like I pulled a ventilator out with my knees.
How did you manage that?
I don't know, but I did it.
Oh.
So like I had like, they got in it because they first they had it in my throat, like the whole thing, and they had me like, out or whatever. And I guess like I pushed past that, went up, pulled it with my knees, and like pulled it back so it came out, and like it was a whole thing. But yeah, I didn't know what was going on then. I was scared. I was like scared of
It was the unknown.
Yeah, but then like in this situation, like with the open heart, it was like, I've been here before, but like the difference is like I know that like my faith in God is like it trumps all of that fear. And so like I laughed. I was like, of course. Like, like I always a lot of people can take this angle as like I can't catch a break.
Yeah.
I can't catch a break. I'm like climbing, I can't catch a break. But I take it as like everything that I've been through has like made me who I am. If I would have grown up in the suburbs, or if I would have grown up like, having money or coming from a good home, maybe I wouldn't have the compassion that I have. Maybe I wouldn't have like the I don't like to call myself humble, but I wouldn't have the heart or the meekness or whatever the kind of reservation that I have now. And so like, it's made me who I am. And James 3:10, out of the same mouth comes praise and curses. My brothers and sisters, this should not be. So I was like,
So let's pause there for a second.
Yeah.
Out of the same mouth comes
Prayer
praise and curses.
My brothers and sisters, this should not be.
This should not be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
break
if
that down
someone,
for me.
so if like the reason I got that is because like if you got something to say about my neck tattoo, like you're wrong. Yeah, but anyway, so in the book of James, it talks about like, your trials and tribulations do nothing but make you stronger. I hated algebra, but now I gotta order, like, when we do send our stuff off to get manufactured, you gotta know like weight and like all this other stuff, and it's like
math quick.
yeah, it's like 30 pieces at 17 a piece. Da 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 da. Okay, we'll take that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's yeah, it's definitely like unexpectedly came in handy. Like I know people make jokes about, oh, I'm not doing any 3x times da da da, but you are.
Yeah.
You are. Like when you go grocery shopping, when you do your taxes, when you anything, you still are using these, reading comprehension. Even though nobody reads anymore, you still have to comprehend what these articles are saying on Instagram and YouTube or whatever.
Or anything. I
Yeah.
mean, the medicine that you get from the pharmacy
Yeah.
or whatever. Or when you sign, when you go to the doctor's, like you got to be able to comprehend what's on a piece of paper. So, very interesting. All right. So now that we learned a little bit about your background and an amazing story it is, talk to me about Blynd.
So Blyndi is based on Matthew 5:29. If your right eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. It's better to go into heaven with one eye than hell with two. And so Blyndi, like I said, it started back in 2013. I used to really be into graffiti.
Okay.
And then it kind of
As
developed.
an artist, you were
Yeah,
an artist.
as an artist, doing all that good stuff. And like it developed from there. And I put out a T-shirt, and it was like this little this character I made, and then at the bottom it said "pluck it," and so people thought it said "F it," but it was. So that was like, once again, not taking anything serious. Couldn't afford to get T-shirts printed again, so I learned how to sew. Within a year, I was in Coastal Fashion Week, and then I won 2017 Emerging Designer of the Year.
Amazing! Congratulations.
Thank you.
On that.
And so like that happened, then like it just kind of snowballed from there.
When did you learn to sew? We kind of skipped over that part.
Like Alabama, like probably like 2015, 2016. I just taught myself.
So you just you got up one morning, you went to the local Walmart, you bought a sewing machine, and you started sewing?
Yeah.
Literally.
Like I started taking apart shirts, taking apart pants that I wasn't wearing anymore. I was like, okay, so this is how it is. This is, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I saw your video. You said that in the video. A good way to start sewing is by taking stuff apart. And
Yeah, that one guy. Yeah. So like I did that. Like before I watched anybody, like I did that. And then I'm really into denim. Like I love jeans. Like I love jeans so much that I don't buy them. I don't buy a whole lot. Because if you love denim, you got like 2 or 3 good pair of jeans, and you don't wash them.
Yeah.
You don't wash them.
I do. You're not supposed to, I know.
Freezer every time, or for I don't know.
So what do you fold them and put them in the freezer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely read that.
So I really love denim.
Did you see? I'm gonna send you this YouTube video, and I'm sure you know about it, but it's all about the Japanese denim and how they dye it like by yarn, and that's why like Japanese denim is so expensive.
It's so expensive, so amazing though.
And they do it the old school way still in the big barrels. Incredible.
You need to send that
Yeah,
to
I'm
me.
gonna send that to you.
Like my favorite denim, of course, is G-Star.
Okay.
I like G-Star. But like RTA, like their Japanese denim is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I could go on all day about it. I was in the Christian hip hop community.
Okay.
And so, like just being in that, and then like a lot of people, even then, people knew me for my fashion, knew me for my style. So it's not anything new. I'm sure it's not a surprise.
Because you were just like a stylish guy, and people would be like, "Can you make me a thing?"
Yeah, like I remember making my pastor a shirt. It was either a shirt or it was a shirt out of like fabric paint, like, and he wore it on stage one time, and I was like, but no, like, yeah. So it started just doing the T-shirts, and then like I said, like I was just like, okay, I can't afford T-shirts anymore, and this is like really before social media was like social media.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I didn't know a whole lot about other brands, like I remember texting one of my friends down here, and telling, like, showing him pictures, and he's like, oh, that's dope. Do you know about fear of God? I was like, no. And then I looked up fear of God, and then that took me to like just open a door to so many things, and then so yeah, that's kind of like where it. So right now, Blyndi, we have we just dropped our first season probably a couple months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so it's just like a revamp, like I said, like coming back to God, like it's very like Christ-centered. Yeah, so I just want to take like the Christian lifestyle, the streetwear aesthetic, and put them together, you know. Everybody has a t-shirt company.
Yeah.
You throw a rock and hit two
Yeah.
people that make t-shirts.
Yeah, you got a t-shirt.
But but like it's like you gotta like, if you're gonna do t-shirts, you gotta make it like worth something. You gotta make it mean something. And so, but also like because I design, because I sew and all this stuff, I'm able to like make our own samples. You know what I mean? Like I can look at it. I can like, okay, boom, this is what I want to do. This is the kind of pattern I want to get. Cut it up.
That's a huge shortcut, because a lot of times people want to get into the business and they might have an idea, but they don't sketch, they don't design, they don't sew. So it's so many hoops. I've worked with so many people over the years. I mean, even myself to an extent. I mean, thank goodness I know a lot about the business and how to construct the garment, so I know how to pull my resources. But a lot of times people don't know all the steps that it takes. People think that, you know, fashion is all glitz and glamour. All we see is, you know,
the end
runway,
result.
and we see, you know, New York Fashion Week, and it's all the parties, and it's like, ooh, I'm a fashion guy. But it's like, no.
You don't.
I literally sat in a factory in India at 105 degrees eating curry.
Yeah.
I'm fashion.
Yeah. Your
You know
sweat,
what I'm
your sweat
saying?
just smelled intense.
Right.
But
So I think having that knowledge just cuts so many corners. You don't have to worry about, okay, I have this idea. Now I need somebody to sketch it. You can do it. You're an artist.
Yeah.
You can sketch it. Oh, now, you know, I got to get these samples done to send it to the factory. You know how to sew. You can make your own sample. Now you sending it to the factory. Let's say you want to get it mass produced because you just don't have the time or the manpower to do, you know, a run of 20 pieces, and you want somebody to do it. Now, when you get the sample, you can make adjustments.
yeah, I
'Cause
can.
You know how to deconstruct and reconstruct the garment. Right?
Exactly.
So that's amazing. Not a lot of people can do that.
So yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It just seems so natural.
Yeah.
Like I had to learn, but recently, like I had to learn Photoshop. I had to learn Illustrator. I had to learn Procreate. So like being able to cut, sew, Photoshop, all that, like it makes everything like so much easier. You know what I mean? And I'm, you know, and now like starting to understand the business aspect, which I am not interested in, not one bit. My business partner Jay, like he's a businessman. Like he's run multi-million-dollar companies before. You know what I'm saying? So like even now he's like running a multi-million-dollar company, and so like his business acumen's on point. You know what I mean? I don't worry about it. Like he'll discuss it with me, just because he knows.
But you know he got it.
Yeah. So I'm
That's a
like,
wonderful feeling.
I'm not. He's like a father to me. Like truly. Like I tell that man every single thing. We're dropping. So okay, the e-commerce thing, blyndi.com, BLYND lowercase i.com. We have, like I said, first season on there. I don't know when you're dropping this, but within the next probably month or two, we're dropping the second season.
Okay.
We did drop our camo pants and our black cargo pants, and you'll get to see those when we tour my workspace. Our church has a clothing shop, and like people have been like buying my like our shirts online are 80, and then at church they're 60, and but like, you know, most of the Christian brands that people bring in are like $35 tees. That's the most. And we're selling $60 tees in a church tee. So people love the pieces, you know what I mean? Because it's quality. You know, it comes from a labor of love and all that. But what's really next, what I'm really excited about is like, I feel like my magnum opus, my labor of love, my everything like that's happened to me throughout my life, throughout, you know, being a police officer, growing up, you know, going through this illness, is all coming into like one like collection, like just of like, and it's gonna be called War Horse. A war horse has been in the trenches, so this is kind of like how I putting in work. Someone who's been through the storms, who has the scars, and the scratches and still is standing. Silhouettes are gonna be kind of like newer streetwear mixed with early 2000s grunge, like we talked about. You know, so it's gonna have early 2000s grunge, hip hop mix with like kind of modern silhouettes. The colors are gonna be black, gray, navy blue. I'm gonna stick to that kind of palette. And yeah, you're gonna see a little bit of military, a little bit of streetwear, you know. And yeah, you're gonna see a little bit of everything in there, but it's gonna be very just, it goes together. But every piece you can wear however you want to wear it. Like one thing I've struggled with is like everybody has a clothing line.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like you find your niche. You know what I mean? There's 1,000,001 flowers in the world, but I guarantee if I give, you know, somebody like a bouquet of roses, those roses are going to be special to them.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And then just like find your group, find the people that you most relate to and make clothes for them.
Find your tribe.
First, we have the sewing machine. Her name is Jessica.
Oh, her name is Jessica.
I don't know why. I just came up with that.
That's a nice name. Jessica is a wonderful name.
So this is a sample.
Oh, this is cute.
This is a sample for maybe season 2, season 3. I'm not sure.
This is my vibe.
Yeah. So
if you go, no lie, like in my closet, everything is like crop sweatshirts, gray. Like everything I have is like gray, beige.
I love it.
Like this is totally my jam, and I like how it's like, it's a little tailored.
Yeah.
Very cute. Very cute.
So yeah, so we got samples from like the upcoming seasons. This is coming out pretty soon.
That's cute.
All of my stuff is kind of like, I like to do things that make you want to like question it. This is everybody's favorite.
I love this placement.
This is the Finn tee, Blyndi, Finn, and then the Jesus head at the bottom. I don't like center or like right, like being up here. It's just so boring.
Yeah.
Everybody's done it. You know what I mean?
It brings your eyes to a different part of the garment.
Yeah, you have to like
and
look
what
at
is this? This is like a very like boxy fit.
Yeah, so it's oversized. I love my like rude, Dom Rebel, like that kind of like feel. This is kind of like these two are like our signatures, you know. So this is actually this is like my first design. And then this one right here is this one is Blyndi, and then it's our Center Saint shirt. So.
And now you can find that on the website. Right
This
now.
is all these three I showed you, last three. This one, the black one, and the white one are all on the site right now. So this is the black cargos.
Okay.
They got the strap on it with the blind eye. I'm very like minimalist.
Yeah.
So like if I can like get away with like not having to like put a whole lot on stuff, but just to like enough to brand it. And then like what I'm wearing now, the camouflage, and then they flare out at the bottom.
So tell me about the icon then.
Oh, so Ozzy the sheep. Just basically, you know, like we're all sheep. The X minus, you know, like one X over the I, you know, and so like that's just like kind of one of the first designs I came up with after my very first like little character. This is my like vision board. I just got it today. These are some things I'm working out. Like I'm working the pieces out, you know, some denim.
So that's in concept.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is like, you know, we working on that. But yeah, I kind of like, I'll shop for my fabric. I know what vibe I'm going with. And then I'm like, okay, like I know I want to do some hoodies. I know I want to do like a skirt or a dress. I know I want to do this. So I'll do that. I don't make patterns.
Okay.
So what I do is I buy pre-made patterns and then I flip it. Like I like use this piece, or I might match this piece with this, how I want it, you know, whatever. Yeah. So like, you know, do that a lot. And yeah, and then I like my girl, you know, Noonie, aka Liz or whatever. Shout out my girl.
Amazing talent.
Yeah, y'all go check her out. We gonna forever buns. Yeah, so this is like my kind of like, I like to deconstruct, so I got some old like Levi's in here. Like,
So do you ever thrift? Do you go to like
I love
stores?
thrift stores. That's where I got like these. I still need to do something like some old Levi's, and I'm gonna probably freak those, and then I'll just find different things and like add it to like either what I got. But the thing is, like, though I love that I can make one-on-one pieces, but I hate that if like somebody likes it, more people want it. But I've sold stuff off the runway, and that I'll never see again, and I'm fine with that. But at the same time, I miss, like, I have a few pieces that I like, that like when I made it, it was like a milestone for me, and then when I sold it, I was happy, but at the same time, I was like,
it's kind of sad. It's your baby.
It's like letting a baby, yeah. So yeah, this is Justin.
This is where all the
This
magic
is-
happens, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't like the one thing I'll say, like, as a designer, I'm not huge into sketching my stuff out. I like to just, everything's like up here.
Freestyle.
Yeah, everything's up here. Especially like back before like my coma, everything. I was like sharper. Now I'm slow, but not slow, but
Yeah.
I got a little lag. I got XL in this.
Sorry, now I'm shopping.
I gotta make a custom piece for you guys.